Hello, this is The Intersection.
Hey, you're watching The Intersection where faith, life, and culture meet. My name is Eric.
And I'm Justin.
And today we are joined in the Moody Church in downtown Chicago with Melody Knapp, a licensed counselor, who's helping us in our series where we're talking about emotions. Our series is called Emotional, and today we are dealing with the emotion of anger. Which I am really feeling as Justin continually pelts rolled up paper towels at my head. Justin, stop it. The Bible talks about anger in interesting ways. You think of Paul, who says when it comes to anger in Ephesians 4:6, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. But Melody, I'm tempted in this very moment to take all these little balls that Justin's thrown at me and just hit him in the head, even not maybe hit him just with my hand or a fist.
No, it's okay.
So
I think let's just calm down.
Yeah, can you help me?
Can we do some exercise together?
Yeah, can you help me to process my anger? So biblically, how do I not be angry? Help me.
Okay, first we need to work on our physiological responses. Because now, I think you're angry too, right?
What do you mean by physiological?
Okay, so we're going to do some deep breathing. So we're going to pause for a little bit right now. And you're going to inhale from your nose and exhale from your mouth.
Nose, mouth.
Okay, when you inhale, you're going to count to 5.
It's a long time. Hold on. It's just let me start over.
Okay. Let's do this together. You want to do
that?
Please.
Okay, I'm counting. I'm just taking in all the air, and it's already in me. I'm blowing up.
Yeah, let's do this together. I'll walk you through it.
Walk me through it, right?
Okay, so inhale through your nose. I'm going to count 1. Slowly inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's make sure if I've done it.
Okay, so let me demonstrate.
Okay.
Okay, this is how you're going to do some deep breathing. You're going to inhale.
I got dizzy.
Now exhale.
Inhale. Exhale. And when you're inhaling through your nose and your stomach is expanding. And when you're exhaling and your mouth is open and your stomach is in. So you want to make sure that your shoulder is down and you're breathing through your diaphragm. You're going to just focus on your breathing. Don't think about anything else. Just focus on your breathing. Okay, let's go inhale through your nose and exhale.
I bet people are just freaking out and enjoying watching us breathe.
So how often, how long do you actually recommend people doing that when they're angry?
So we'll, for 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, just as long as, until you find yourself calm down.
Are you calmer?
Okay.
I'm calmer.
Okay.
Actually, I think I am a little bit more.
Does that feel that work?
So you might still feel angry, but at least it's not a very, it's not high.
It's not escalated.
It's not escalated.
Takes it down a notch.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So, Paul says in Ephesians that says be angry, right? He doesn't say don't be angry and do not sin.
Yes.
It's like, hey, be angry. So there's kind of like an openness to be angry. And I know when we talked a little bit before, you said in your counseling, you allow people to be angry.
Yes.
So what does that look like to be angry in a holy way? I know people are always like, this is just righteous anger. And it's like, no, you're just a jerk. Yeah. It's like, no, I have the gift of discernment, so I'm angry. I'm like, no, just you need to do those breathing exercises Melody was just saying. It's like, how would you say what's a healthy way to process that God-given gift of anger?
Yeah. So in my sessions, I need to understand what is actually the anger is about. So I'm not limiting them right now. So because I need to understand what it's about. Afterwards, once I found out what's the underlying issue about the anger, because sometimes then we focus on how to do some deep breathing, how to relax our body, doing some progressive muscle relaxation, and some other relaxation skills that I provide for them. So that's the main focus, is the physiological, just decreasing the arousal, decreasing
the arousal of the physiological symptoms. Okay?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, of course, decreasing the arousal of the physiological symptoms.
Okay.
Is that hard to say?
It normally it doesn't. No, it is.
Are we making you angry?
I can't seem to talk. No, I'm getting anxious.
No, you're anxious. Okay, back to last episode. We deal with anxiety.
Okay. And then second is try to figure out what it is that person is angry about. And so it's usually it could be either jealousy, envy, or justice. They want some justice.
Which God is angry about justice, right? All the time. He's yelling at Israel because he says, hey, I said there were supposed to be no poor among you, and yet there are poor among you. Sure. In fact, I remember trying to think of the passage. Justin, help me. If not, someone's going to comment and say, these guys don't know their Bibles. But there's a passage in Scripture where God tells the people, he says, hey, you do all your feasts and you do your sacrifices, but you have no justice among you. And for this reason, I reject all of that. Yeah. And so there's kind of a sense, I feel like it's Isaiah or Micah or Jeremiah, it's a prophet.
It's definitely in the prophets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there's a sense where like God is angry about like injustice. And so there's a sense in which we can look at our world. Sure. We can look at our city, Chicago, where there's a lot of injustice and be able to shout out like, hey, I'm angry about this. In fact, there's a sense where we should be.
So the healthier way, the biblical way of expressing anger is to make sure that you're not hurting the other person. Right?
Physically, emotionally,
and verbally and emotionally. So definitely the person is hurt. The person who's angry is definitely hurt. So anger is an emotion that we utilize to protect ourselves. So to have a sense of control, right? And so what we do is, so if that person knows that anger is actually trying to control the situation or trying to have a sense of control or power, then they'll realize to slow down, do some relaxation skills, and then to be able to express what it is that person is angry about. And so, and once they, yes, we can definitely, we could express anger and what we're angry about. So the other person will know how to respond to that person who's angry. So there is like a dialogue of communicating why the anger is being expressed.
So you're saying you need to have more dialogue. Like that's an important thing. In order to process your anger, you need to be in dialogue.
Yes, and not monologue. Yes,
that anger. Now I know that there's a lot of people though who, because of either bad teaching or because of other things, maybe sometimes just upbringing, they never deal with their anger, right? I'm not sure if, Justin, you've encountered that at all.
Well, I mean, you think about how many times like, people just want to run with, if you're angry, you're a jerk. If you're a jerk, don't be a jerk. You're a bad Christian because you're angry. It's like they try to follow that line now, so people don't want to really address that, for sure.
Yeah, so how would you recommend that people actually process that anger if they're struggling to ever be angry? All they ever do is just bottle up. I think I remember that old Mentos thing where you put Mentos and Pepsi and then it's like, hey, bottle up, I never get angry. And then typically at some point it's giant fountain. And so like for those people that are watching, they're like, oh, well, I just don't get angry. I just kind of bottle it all up. And I know some people are like, oh, you've never seen me angry. And it's like, maybe you need to deal with some of that.
Sure, yeah.
What's the right way to show it?
So a suppressed anger is actually not a healthy way to do it. So and with any emotions, you don't want to suppress your emotions. You want to be able to express those emotions in a constructive way. Yeah. Because what happens is when we suppress or we avoid or we or we distract ourselves with something, with an activity to not deal with our emotions, is that this emotion will somehow get triggered and will come out unexpectedly and inappropriately. So if we are dealing with the emotions that we're experiencing on the time that you experience it, then more likely it will come out more effectively and not effectively, appropriately.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's just a tremendous opportunity here for if we as Christians can be better about how we express our anger to one another, to the world around us, what an effective witness that can be. Because I just think that this is a very angry society
Sure.
we live in.
Yeah.
Sure.
People love to shout at each other, but there's not a lot of dialogue, whether it's
Sure.
political, religious, social issues, whatever. We do a great job of screaming and shouting, but not necessarily engaging.
Yeah, and so I think what's really important is we need to learn how to calm our bodies, because it is hard to manage the anger outburst. If we are able to manage and regulate our bodies, then we're able to say the things that we want to say and communicate and express those things.
Yeah.
And also, if the feeling thermostat is, if your anger is at a 10 from a 10 scale, then you want to regulate to a place where you're able to communicate to a 5. You're not necessarily like trying not to be angry. You're just like, okay, I need to calm myself down, because usually you want to be angry when you're angry. So when you tell yourself not to be angry, you get more angry. It's like, why can I not be angry?
Yep.
Right? So you're giving yourself permission to be angry, but you're also allowing yourself to express those angry so you are heard and validated.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like the big takeaway here is if you are angry, you need to, if you're angry and you're just really good at being angry, those people that are they're good at being wrathful.
Professional.
Yeah, professional, angry people. The word here is control your body, physiologically calm down, work on that. And if you're really not good at being angry, you're maybe one of those bottle up people, the word is communicate. It's actually start off maybe even telling that person, hey, Justin, as you throw those things at me, it kind of upsets me. It makes me want to hurt you. Maybe that's not the right thing to say. You'd say no to that?
No, it's okay with that. And the recipient...
It's okay to tell
no,
me.
because you guys are friends, right?
Yeah.
No.
He's much stronger than I am, though.
But the recipient who's experiencing that anger is, so this is where it makes it very complicated, because we don't want to be around angry people, because it's scary, right? And so, so you want to start with people that people who cares about you, who are safe, who you would probably want to just like, hey, I want to be able to learn how to express my anger. Can you do that with me? Because you can't do it with everybody. And so, because people they won't be receptive to that. So, because they're also probably struggling with anger.
I've never thought about it that way. Like actually finding someone. It's like, hey, I'm angry about this situation. Can I process that with you? And that's like so helpful. I just think of so many college students who I work with who are frustrated about roommate situations or professors or parent issues or even trauma from the past. And I don't think I've ever thought of telling them, hey, why don't you go talk to someone about your anger and like have like a peer-to-peer, hey, can this be a safe place where we can talk about our anger? So that's really just a helpful word.
I mean, with all the emotions, with all the negative emotions like anger, depression, or fear or anxiety, you want to have a place where you could express those, because if you don't, then where can you go, right? And so, and that's what I encourage all my clients and even my couples. It's like, if you can express those emotions with those that you love and care about you, then you are going to more likely be able to have this outburst, or you're going to suppress it, avoid, or trying to distract yourself or do something that is not healthy. And so we need to be able to be okay, but then also be able to de-escalate those emotions so that it's not as scary to be able to be around people who are experiencing those emotions.
Thank you so much, Melody.
Yeah,
It's been such a blessing to
I'm getting used to it. now.
have you
I'm
with
getting-
us.
I'm getting-
Totally.
I'm
Yeah,
getting used
if
to
you
it.
are wanting to deal more with the issue of anger, especially based on pain, this is a phenomenal book you might want to get. It's a theology of suffering by two of professors that I actually had when I was a student at Moody Bible Institute, Gerald Peterman and Andrew Schmutzer. The book is called Between Pain and Grace, and there are some great chapters here in how to process your anger. We're going to close up now, so thank you again for watching The Intersection. If you enjoyed this discussion, would you please just give us a thumbs up on this video? And yep. And also subscribe and turn on notifications so you can get notified about our next episode. And I am doing deep breaths.
You're doing great, buddy.
What is after deep breaths? Exhale.
Inhale.
Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
You
Okay.
feel good?
Yeah.
See you next week.
Great job.
Yeah.